Hey YouTube and F and True community, JC Styles of F and True Wrestling.
Brian Crazy here.
And this is our very first review for our very first Monday Night Raw of 2011. And I'm somewhat disappointed the first Raw, and they already fucked up. Brian?
Well, I think this was probably the strongest Raw we've seen in a while, but we saw the end to an angle that didn't even begin. We saw
two fuck-ups tonight. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's just call it two fuck-ups.
Well, I wouldn't even call it two fuck-ups, because I think the second decision of the night, I mean, we're just beating around the bush, so let's just jump right into it. First match of the night, it was for the WWE Championship, right at 9 o'clock, right as the show started. We had a short piece with Michael Cole. Show starts. We have The Miz go against John Morrison.
And this is where I'm disappointed. The first Raw of 2011, they gave us a great opening match. I didn't have no problem with it, but they screwed up because on many parts in this match, John Morrison could have been the new WWE champion. 1, 2, he could have led the Royal Rumble, went into Royal Rumble as champion. Maybe a triple threat match with The Miz and possibly the winner of the steel cage match later in the night. Basically, they spent all this time building John Morrison up and just to knock him back down, and that's WWE's MO as of late, and they need to realize this because John Morrison is a very good athlete. He has what it takes to be on top. You know,
real quick, and then I think you can answer this with what you're saying. I've heard this a lot in the net in the last week, that John Morrison does not have the mic skills to become WWE champion. And I think the WWE, in my opinion, dropped the ball on him, never gave him a mic, and never gave him a chance to flourish on a mic.
And they never gave Sheamus a mic. They never gave him enough time on promos. The only reason why they made Sheamus a champion so quickly when he came over to Raw from ECW was just because of he dominated the ECW roster. But come on, give me a break. Look at who he wrestled on ECW. And there wasn't really any good names, with the exception of William Regal and possibly Ezekiel Jackson. Come on, that's
Christian.
But I'm saying though, I mean, no one really to push him to the limit to where he.
There was no Triple H.
There was no Triple H.
There was no Randy Ortons. I think that's what JC's trying to say.
There was nobody there to push him to the limit to see how good he could really go. Then he comes over, has a couple of great matches, has a couple of dominant matches, I should say, and then he's in the main event picture. You know, that's the thing. The thing is like Morrison was ECW champion. He's been in the WWE for at least a good 4 or 5 years now. He started off as a tag team, excelled in tag teams, had a great singles career, went back to tag teaming for a little bit, and exploded back into the singles competition. And WWE just drops the ball once again. And this is the thing. If you were going to get away with one shitty pay-per-view main event, this could have been it. You could have given Morrison a chance to have the title just for a little bit leading into the Royal Rumble.
Well, arguably, why would it have to be shitty though? I mean, the performance that these two guys put on tonight.
Let's just put it this way.
But be honest though,
if the winner of the #1 contender wins at Royal Rumble, he's gonna they're obviously gonna go in, and they're gonna last minute change right before WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber.
But everything's different this year. Maybe this is going to be the different year for WWE. That's what we're hoping for.
Who knows?
I mean, when has the WWE ever started Monday Night Raw with the title match?
True, but the thing is though, I mean, WWE has an MO of last-minute title changes just so they can have a decent main event for WrestleMania.
Well, it's not even a decent main event for WrestleMania. It's like almost like the other 11 pay-per-views of the year almost kind of don't exist, and WrestleMania is like their showcase. And if that's the one that's going down in history, it has to have the main event that is chosen.
But my point of the situation is they gave away a great match on a live Raw. Okay, I'd rather have seen Morrison and Miz go at it in the main event at the Royal Rumble.
True.
Because at least we could have sat there and we could have watched it non-stop, no commercial breaks. And then on top, then to boot, the constant interruptions from A-Ride. The ref shouldn't even have allowed, no DQ or not, they should not have allowed A-Ride at the
once
ring.
it's 12 counts out, anywhere, no disqualification, the referee really has no say in any outside competitors. But
Miz retains.
They
dropped the ball.
Well, just to throw my thought in real quick, you know, what they really could have done with this is they could have let Morrison pick up the title for 3 weeks. Then even if he did drop it back to The Miz, if that is their chosen champion to go into WrestleMania, so be it. But if Morrison picked up the title on Miz, that would have made Miz automatically eligible for a title match back at his championship, so that would set up a match at Royal Rumble, so you would have saw the same contest. But I think that is what they were trying to do. They wanted a temporary, quick feud between these two guys, because so many people wanted to see it. They ended it really quick, and now we're going to see Randy Orton probably dominate either at Rumble or the following pay-per-view, and he'll more than likely go into WrestleMania as the champion. That's what I say.
Yeah, but this is the thing. And then we'll get to the later part later in the show, where they dropped the ball, and it could have been Morrison. It could have been Morrison, Miz, and then it could have been Wade Barrett. And I'll tell you my little story of the reason why later on, when we get later into the card. The next match, I think, was what, the women's match?
Yeah, we had Melina, who is showing a real mean streak these days. Alicia Fox, who I don't know what the hell she did with her hair. It looked like a rat was living on her head. And Maurice, my girl, going against Eve, Brie Bella, and Natalia. To sum it up real quick for you guys, Eve, Brie, and Natalia picked up the win in a pretty good match.
I didn't really get to see the match. By the time I got back to my bedroom, the match was over. I was getting my my little drink and my little snack for the rest of the show. So like I said, I didn't really get to see this match. So
Joey likes his salted nuts.
No, I really don't.
Okay, but
I was actually having a mint chocolate chip ice cream sandwich. So anyway, moving on, we had
we could have got a great laugh.
The Usos versus
Kozlov and Santino Marella, who are the reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. Which Joey does not approve in Santino. I mean, he really doesn't have too much beef with Kozlov, but...
Again, another reason that pisses me off is that they have no tag team divisions, but yet they had no plans for Caval, and they could have put Daniel Bryan and Caval in together as a tag team. They could have been amazing. Yeah, they wouldn't have been a lot of tag teams for them to feud with, but just the fact of the matter is that they didn't have anything to do. They didn't have anything for Caval, so Caval went and asked for his early release, and they gave it to him. And Caval could have had a big future in the WWE.
Oh, huge.
And WWE just dropped the ball because they didn't know what to do with him. I gave you an idea, and you know what? A lot of people on YouTube that see our videos actually agreed with me that they could have put them together in a tag team. And a couple people from work who I talk about wrestling with agree with me that they could have put them as a tag team.
Oh, they sure could have. I mean, it would have been very reminiscent of the Cruiserweight Tag Teams division in the old WCW. I mean, you would have saw two guys that would have taken to the limit. I mean, Caval's a high flyer.
Actually, late WCW, because they didn't really have the Cruiserweight Tag Teams until late 2000.
Yeah, you are correct. But, I mean...
we had it up here. It was AJ Styles and Elix Skipper, I think it was.
Yes, it was. It was a fantastic contest, and, which I was actually looking at that video today, funny enough that you mention it, and now that some of our issues have been resolved, we might even put it back up for you guys, depending on what happens with what. But basically, the Usos picked up the win in this contest. Got to give it to the Usos. I mean, they showed a lot of heart out there. They definitely were trained by Rikishi.
Yes.
They are
Which
good
I still
talent.
think that they should have been named the Fatus and not the Usos. I think it would have probably been pretty cool because their father's real name is I forgot what his first name is. But I think it's
Salafa.
I think it's Salafa Fatu.
Salafa Fatu.
So I think it would have been cool if they would have named themselves the Fatus, or they could have called them the new Head Shrinkers.
You know we're getting a comment about that one in about the next 10 minutes after this is posted.
Yes.
Next match, we had my boy crossover from SmackDown, Alberto Del Rio, go against The Truth. What'd you think?
You know, I think Del Rio needs to get a new finisher. I mean, selling the cross armbar as a legitimate submission finisher is kind of, you know.
Well, I mean, he adds the little spin
kind of
to
unbelievable,
it,
and the way he had it, on Truth, it kind of looked a little cheesy. Go back, check it out. Leave me comments if you believe that the way that the armbar looked tonight looked very unrealistic.
I will be honest. I mean, when he first started fighting Rey Mysterio, there was a couple times where he really didn't sell the armbar too convincingly. But I do like Alberto Del Rio. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I think he's a fantastic competitor, and I think he's the future of Friday nights. He did pick up the win with the armbar. It took quite a while for Truth to tap.
Actually, come over here because your cigarette's like blowing.
Yeah. I tried to step back a little bit so you didn't catch that, but I guess we're catching the wind.
Now the wind will start blowing that way.
Yeah, I know, right? That's how things work here in Connecticut. It's all backwards if you've ever been here. But
the next match
was for the #1 contender. We only had 5 matches on the card tonight, so this will be a short review. But we had Randy Orton go against Sheamus, go against Wade Barrett.
Oh, first off,
well, there's a stipulation.
Setting this match up. CM Punk came out discussing why he believes is the new leader of Nexus. Barrett comes out and says, why don't we let the members of Nexus decide? We get an anonymous. They come out and they basically said, you guys both make good points. But they both, Barrett led some of the Nexus members to championships. CM Punk hasn't done anything, but I can understand why they would want CM Punk, because he is a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. He is a multi-time Intercontinental Champion and a multi-time Tag Team Champion. He's
also a proven leader with the Straight Edge Society.
Yes, so
those guys dropped the ball, not CM Punk.
GM came out and said basically...
Well, GM made his anonymous, which this is where we need, don't mean to interrupt you, but this is where we need Chris Jericho to tell Michael Cole to shut the hell up. Obviously we know it's the anonymous general manager.
We had basically the anonymous GM says tonight there will be a triple threat main event. It'll either be CM Punk, Wade Barrett against Orton and Sheamus. CM Punk basically like, hey, you know what, Barrett, I'm not gonna even fight you. You had a brutal match with John Cena. I'm just gonna let you have it, just to have. Then we fast forward to later in the night, just at the end of the match, just to have that.
Well, did you say the stipulation?
Oh, the stipulation was if Barrett won, he could go to Royal Rumble and he'd still be the leader in the Nexus, or a leader of the Nexus. He
would have been the leader of Nexus, and CM Punk would have been forced to follow Wade Barrett's orders and be a member, kind of like Cena.
If Barrett lost, he would be out of the Nexus completely, which they did okay with the ending of the match, but they kind of fucked up in a way, because the fact is that you have the steel cage match. Okay, the cage match itself was good, but you have CM Punk
long cage match too. It was like 20 minutes. It was good.
You had CM Punk come out to make it look like he was going to help Barrett win the match. Grabs the armband, rips it off, and then pushes him off the cage back into the ring. Now, the good thing is, this could probably set Wade Barrett up as a possible face run, feuding with the Nexus, and probably maybe teaming up with Cena when he comes back. But they fucked up, because, again, this could have been another pay-per-view match where CM Punk and Wade Barrett could have fought each other for the leader of the Nexus spot, the spot for the leader of Nexus. And we got screwed out of that. So that's the second fuck up, and they screwed the angle over.
Well, I mean, a lot of speculation, too, going around on the net right now is that we might see Wade Barrett, do a face run, but they might switch him over to SmackDown to try to improve its roster. Because, I mean, SmackDown's dwindling roster. I mean, we got Mysterio out hurt, we got The Undertaker out hurt, we've got Christian out hurt. I mean, there's definitely, plus with all the releases, I mean, we lost MVP, we lost Guval. I mean, SmackDown is really hurting these days, guys. So, I mean, I could definitely see maybe, like JC said, a run with Barrett on Raw, but definitely him moving over to SmackDown to kind of shore up their roster in the future.
Yeah, I think that the fact is that they should let CM Punk and Wade Barrett tear the house off, basically tear the roof off at the Royal Rumble, I think, but the fact of the matter is they're screwed up.
Do you think this is setting up CM Punk, Wade Barrett, Royal Rumble?
I hope it does. I mean, but the thing is, I would have rather have had the stipulation at that point. If CM Punk loses, he's has to follow the orders, be part of Nexus, but be under the leadership of Wade Barrett, and vice versa with Wade Barrett or Barrett being out of Nexus completely.
I mean, we're just going to have to let the storyline develop. I mean, right now as it stands, CM Punk is, I guess, the undisputed leader of the Nexus. Wade Barrett is out. Randy Orton is the #1 contender for the WWE Championship.
Which we're stuck seeing Randy Orton versus The Miz for the third time in the last 2 months.
Well, that's been WWE's MO. I mean, we've been getting these repeat matches continuously.
Now a nice little twist I could have seen when, right before Sheamus got the RKO and he was getting ready to go out of the cage, I was thinking at that point when he started laughing, I thought Triple H's music was going to hit. Again, WWE drops the ball on wanting to bring back
Triple H kicked ass at the house show they held in Hartford, Connecticut, right before Linda McMahon's election.
I don't even think he had a match. I think he just showed up and just kicked ass.
No, he did have a match.
Oh, he did?
He did have a match, and he kicked ass. Unfortunately, we weren't able to be there, but he kicked. That's Hartford's not even too far from where we live.
It's like about a 25-minute ride.
Exactly, but unfortunately, just with work and I got kids and everything, we just...
Two things. Three things.
Well, I got some big news, too. But you go first, and we'll see if we got anything cross-lapping here.
Mine has nothing to do with what happened tonight, so...
Okay, I just got some updates for the fans. I just want to make sure I'm not biting anything off of you. Do you got any of these?
Well, I think everyone knows about that one.
Well, we'll just cover it real quick. John Cena is projected to return next week. He suffered an injury known as a hip pointer. JR tipped us off to us on his JR's Barbecue blog last week. A hip pointer is a devastating injury. It doesn't require surgery, but it does cause abdominal bleeding in the area of, obviously, whatever side you're hurt.
Yeah.
He's not able to wrestle for anywhere up to a month, but he'll probably be there cutting promos.
Probably.
But, I mean, it could hurt if this guy even laughs. So, I don't see what they're going to really do with him on screen.
He might just come out and say, hey, guys, hi, how you doing?
Or maybe we'll see him from the Titantron. I think that would probably be safe, because I don't think they should... This is really going to say a lot for the WWE if it cares about its performers. I mean, this guy has been on the road for years, constant for them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like him or not, give the guy a little respect. Other big news. Great Khali is an Indian game show right now. That's why you guys haven't seen him. He is projected to return before the Royal Rumble and compete in the Royal Rumble match. So I think that's pretty exciting.
Please, God, don't let him win.
Yes, we don't need that.
Our picks for the Royal Rumble, even though this is not a prediction, Wade Barrett, CM Punk. Obviously, John Cena is probably going to be in the Rumble, maybe.
And I hope this is like he returns. And I hope this is like the old days. If you have a match earlier on in the night, you need to compete in the Rumble match later on.
Rey Mysterio.
You need to do double duty.
Del Rio. Or possibly maybe a returning Undertaker.
Well, what do you think? Double duty, right? You have to do double duty.
What do you mean double duty?
If you have a singles match earlier in the night, you got to compete.
Well, they've been doing that a couple of times during the year.
Yeah.
They do that a couple of times now. They don't do it. They don't do it as much as they used to. It's not like everyone who wrestled earlier in the night wrestles in the Rumble.
Because there is a larger roster these days. You'd have to, but double duty is important. And last piece of information that I got, and then we'll let JC jump into his, and then we'll probably close this video out for the night because it is fucking freezing out here. Christian suffered an injury. He is projected to return sometime before WrestleMania 27. Maybe we'll see him going for the Intercontinental Championship, hopefully.
Maybe feuding with Del Rio if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble.
But after Del Rio impressed us so much in that Fatal 4-Way at the last pay-per-view, I mean, he's destined for the main event picture. I don't see Del Rio falling back to the mid-card anytime soon.
No. 3 F and True Wrestling updates. I think Brian wants to take one of them. Would you like to let them know what you're going to be doing Thursday night?
Thursday night, guys. I even got him with me. Very exciting. I picked him up at the box office this morning. Check him out. Spike TV presents TNA Wrestling at the box office at the Oakdale. Very cool. Going to be sitting 6th row. Going to get to see, supposed to be there is Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, Beer Money, Inc., Matt Morgan, and a whole bunch of others.
It's going to be Brian and his wife. It's not going to be an F and True Wrestling tonight.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, because the holidays kind of tapped me out. I didn't have the funds to do it, and by the time that I was able to get the money together to get the ticket, I couldn't get off, and there's no point in buying a ticket if I can't get someone to switch me. Unfortunately, a lot of you who work, you know how that situation is.
Exactly.
Second update of the night, me and Brian will be sitting down as a F and True Wrestling, and we are going to do our WrestleMania 27 Dream Card.
Yes, we will be.
We would like to see in the main events and see wrestle, whether they're injured or not. Also, number 3, January 14th, me and Brian are picking up our WWE tickets to go see WWE Raw's house show, which is March 18th. It's WWE Raw presents the Road to WrestleMania.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
We'll get to bring you a review of that.
Yes. Unfortunately, there are no matches yet because the tickets are not yet on sale. We'll probably have the card for you later on as it gets closer to the event. Also, the final 4th update, together, me and Brian will be sitting down and ordering the Royal Rumble, so we will have a review immediately following the pay-per-view.
And I think the biggest piece of information, I hope if you don't mind me saying it, but probably the most exciting thing for me and JC, which we have to send a very special thanks out to WrestlingRevolution.com. There in the description box below. Me and JC, F and True Wrestling, were picked as their featured user of the month. I mean, it's incredible. We are up on their website right now.
Unfortunately, our 44-minute with the last 14 minutes be 12 minutes with no audio.
It was the video that made it.
That video that made it. Also, my Miz video, Miz's Dream Match, If The Rock Returned video was posted up there.
Which was an awesome video, which, guys, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It hasn't really gotten too many hits yet. Let's get JC a lot of hits on that. That was an awesome discussion he brought to us. I do have to say, I do enjoy everything that you do, Nick. I check out all this kid's videos, and he does mine when we're not together making stuff. And you know, I think the most important part is me and JC have been friends for years, but you know, you got to be able to enjoy the other person's work to be able to collaborate and do work with them. And yes. I think that's a very important thing, and that's something that I do. So
guys, this has been F and True Wrestling.
Sure has been.
Our very first review. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Please do.
I think, you know, Brian's got a good weekend, a good Thursday night coming up, so he's actually not going to be home for TNA Impact.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be.
Unfortunately, but I believe that I am probably going to do a review right after, even though that Brian's probably going to do spoilers. Also, probably Friday night, if we get the time, we're going to do TNA predictions, because I'm actually working all day midday Saturday and midday Sunday.
Which is crazy. I don't want to cross over too much to TNA because we already talked about, you know, the event and everything, but we still have
no main event.
No main event. There's no World Heavyweight Championship match on the card, which I think the reason for doing this, honestly, is because Jeff Hardy is in some serious shit, if any of you guys know it. He's facing a lot of drug charges, and I think the real issue is that they don't want a drug addict headlining their show. I mean, they already gave him their championship in a foolish measure, and, you know, Jeff Hardy, man, I followed you from the beginning days, and you're awesome, dude, and it's a shame that you got yourself into some shit. But clean yourself up, come back good, and
also,
everybody deserves a second chance, man.
While we're on the
I hope I see you on Thursday.
Of fuck-ups, Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman sat down, and they basically were drinking wine, you know. Nash was drunk, so was Waltman, and basically...
Drunk ain't even the word for these two guys.
Basically sat there and showed the reason why they're not wrestling right now, because they're fucking alcoholics.
Just like fucking Scotty Hall.
Just like Scott Hall, okay? And he talks about how, when Wade Barrett went to go do the Wasteland on Undertaker a couple of months back, he looked like a, what was the word she used?
Was it camel and giraffe?
I think so. He looked like a camel giraffe or some shit like that.
Or was it a llama and a giraffe?
Then he goes on. He said, I guess Wade Barrett said something.
He said, I don't even know your fucking name. First of all.
Yeah. He said, I don't even know your fucking name. You don't know who we are. And he was like, when you were sucking your mama's tit, I was selling out arenas. Okay. First off, you were never selling out arenas, because the fact is that when you were champion, you were a joke. When you were WWF champion, you were a joke.
Dude,
you came out
when
and
the
you
Outsiders came to WCW, though, dude, they were selling.
When you were champion and you only gave dap or pounded hands with the people that only had your piece of shit faux leather black glove, come on. Then he talked about wanting to fuck Wade Barrett's wife while he watches.
That was
so unsportsmanship, and I can't believe I used to look up to that guy.
No, I actually thought it was pretty funny. I'm sorry.
Sean Waltman too.
He goes, if you try to cut a promo on me, I'll come to your house and fuck your wife, and that's the closest you'll be. What did he say? That's the closest you'll be to
heaven or something. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Kevin Nash Waltman. Talk Wade Barrett or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the video was called, but I saw
that shit was
recently
hilarious.
Just posted, so check it out, guys. Me and Brian gotta head in. It's late. I gotta get up for work tomorrow, so
I gotta get my son to school. I got stuff going on, and back to the hunt of trying to. If you guys don't know, I've been off the last couple months. Unfortunately, the construction industry is not very hot in the wintertime, so back to trying to find something to build. And for the night, this has been Brian Crazy,
GC Styles,
F and True Wrestling. We appreciate all your support, and No. Wrestling Revolution, check it out. We have made it on there, guys. We appreciate you so much. And also, all the special guys that we mentioned in our Best of video, we have added you to our suggested channels on our channel page. So make sure to check that out. Have a great night.